friends? It's your boy DMV back with another one, and I am ecstatic about the draft. Yesterday I was at a wedding, so I wasn't able to cover it like I wanted to, but I was paying attention, and when I seen that Mike Weber went to where he did, I was ecstatic. I was jumping. I think that he's the biggest steal of the draft. You know, at first I didn't know where the draft was going with our first two picks in the draft. You know, I know that you go and you build inside out, and that's the smart thing to do, and that's what we've been doing, and that's why the team has been structured the way that it's been. But I wasn't sure that if the solid players that we have been researching over the last couple of months would be there. And so, but the way that this fell, I think that we had a very productive draft overall. But I want to talk to you guys about why I think that Mike Weber is the biggest value and the biggest steal for us in this draft. All right, before I do so, make sure that you subscribe to DeludedYinzer, because this person right here puts together videos and chops them up so you can actually see game clips. So whenever you see me actually watching film, you're watching me watch somebody chop up game clips of just that person. So make sure that you subscribe. And before I get into this, I just want to let you guys know that what we're getting out of Mike Weber is, I call him a diet Zeke. I call him somebody that's not necessarily a game breaker. I think that Zeke was a much better and an elite athlete. But what Mike Weber brings you is the same type of vision, the same type of toughness. I call him diet Zeke because he's much smaller, but he can bring you the whole package that you want from a running back, whether it's running routes, whether it's pass blocking, whether it's churning for 3 to 4 yards of a carry. He's a complete running back, and although Pollard was taken before him, I believe that this guy right here will be our running back too, while Pollard will be our returner, our third down back type of guy. Weber, if Zeke goes down, I feel completely confident that he can come in and carry the load, and we will be fine. So I'll show you exactly what I mean in the clips of him versus Michigan State, who was an elite defense in college football. And so when I actually look up a running back, I like to look up the boring stuff first, which is the pass blocking. If you want a complete running back, they have to be able to pass block. And as you can see, he stepped up in that A-gap and picked up that block cleanly. That's what you're looking for in a running back right there. And again, you're going to see him check the A-gap, check the edge. So he has A to C, comes over with a beautiful cut block. Yeah, man, some more boring stuff. You see him. See, the thing about having a running back, you want somebody that actually wants to block, and you can actually see his eyes completely scanning. There he is again, even though Haskins is sacked. You see a guy that's actually carrying out the assignment. Now let's actually see him actually run the ball this time, because all this stuff right here is boring. Let's get to the good stuff. All right, here we go right here. You're going to actually see him run the ball. And they actually stuffed him a little bit early in this game, but they eventually started wearing him down. You can actually see his vision start to take place. Look, presses the line of scrimmage, churns out about 6 yards right there. And on this next run, you're going to see it's an outside zone, so he does a good job going flat down the line. And then what he does is he follows his blocks, ducks his shoulder, leans forward, and finishes the run. Very important that as a running back, you keep your pads low and you finish the run, you keep churning. And that's what we see right there. This next run is important because, see, there's running backs that can run straight ahead. There's running backs that can, run through a hole. But can you set it up and can you bend? Can you make that bend and come back around after making the correct read, after seeing the linebackers flow one way, and then you make the correct read, like I said, and use your vision and your ability to balance yourself and make that cut and change direction. So you're going to actually see Weber do this here. And this right here is a trait that all top running backs have, and Zeke has it as well. So seeing him do it with the ability of our line to being able to hide behind our line, I think this right here will be a beneficial skill for him to have. See, now it's late in the game, and I'm skipping ahead because, see, now they have a couple touchdown lead in a tough defensive game, and now they need to salt away the clock, need to put together a drive, need to take some time off the clock. 3rd and 3 situation, you're going to see him put his nose in there, make a right read, get the first down on the 3rd and 3, which is normally known as a passing down. And that right there is important to me because of what his role will be in our offense. He's going to be the guy that will help take some steam, or not some steam, but he's going to be a guy to be a breath of fresh air to help keep Zeke on the sidelines. What we need is somebody in these important situations where if Zeke is winded, we actually have full trust and full confidence in you to make these type of plays. And this right here is positive in reinforcing that idea in actually getting this draft pick. So seeing this right here is a great thing, especially for situational football purposes. And what I'll do now is I'm going to let it ride out, and you can actually see the type of runs for yourself. You're going to see a guy that can finish. You're going to see a guy that can grind it out. And then eventually what you're going to see is you're going to see a guy that gets stronger as it gets towards the goal line. He looks small in stature, but he's a guy that can finish. He's a guy that you can have confidence in. I think that this was an absolute excellent pick by the Dallas Cowboys in the 7th round. And I think that he's going to make some noise over the long term. And I think that he offers some leverage when it comes to Zeke's contract situation, whether or not we feel like we can go without him if he holds out. But that's all, folks. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell each time I come out with content. Make sure you tip your bartenders, your waitresses, and all of that type of stuff, all right? Peace. Make sure you subscribe to Gorilla Team ATL on YouTube as they got this fly ass beat in the background. I'm just gonna let the instrumental ride for a little bit.